The question before the House today is how we keep the British people safe from the threat posed by Isil, and in particular, what role our armed forces should play in the international coalition to dismantle and ultimately destroy what President Obama has rightly called this network of death. Mr. Speaker, there is no more serious an issue than asking our armed forces to put themselves in harm's way to protect our country. And I want to set out today why I believe that is necessary. I think it's important to reserve the right that if there was a critical British national interest at stake, or if there was the need to act to prevent a humanitarian catastrophe, then you could act immediately and explain to the House of Commons afterwards. We are acting in response to a direct appeal from the sovereign government of Iraq to help it deal with this mortal terrorist threat. It's a threat to Iraq and a threat to Britain. We are not acting alone, but as part of an international coalition of 60 countries, many of them from the region, and all of them committed to rolling back Isil, however long and however difficult that task might be. Mr. Speaker, this is not 2003, but we must not use past mistakes as an excuse for indifference or inaction. We will play our part in destroying these evil extremists. We will support our Muslim friends around the world as they reclaim their religion. And once again, our inspirational armed forces will put themselves in harm's way to keep our people and our country safe.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the government motion concerning military action against ISIL in Iraq. And it is right that the Prime Minister has brought this issue to the House, and that he has committed that he will bring future decisions to the House too. Let us be clear, Mr. Speaker, at the outset, what is the proposition today? It is about airstrikes against ISIL in Iraq. It is not about ground troops from the United Kingdom, nor about UK military action elsewhere. It is a mission specifically aimed at ISIL.
Does he agree with me that this government has a moral obligation to help the Iraqi people in their hour of need, an obligation which, like the deficit, this government did not create, but this government's got to deal with?
I think, if I may say so, the honourable gentleman did himself no credit with that intervention. The late Robin Cook said in his resignation speech on the eve of the Iraq War this: "Our interests are best protected not by unilateral action, but by multilateral agreement and a world order governed by rules." Mr. Speaker, this is multilateral action, prompted by a legitimate democratic state. And a world order governed by rules, if it is about anything, must be about protecting a democratic state, which is what this motion before us is about. I believe, although this is difficult, it is the right thing to do. There is no graver decision for our Parliament and our country, but protecting our national interest, security, and the values for which we stand is why I will be supporting the motion this afternoon.